Hi, my name is Stephen Peters, and today I'd like to talk to you about subnetting. Now, subnetting is one of those topics that a lot of people get really concerned about or nervous about, or they just try to avoid it altogether because it can be a little bit complicated. But thankfully, it's not quite as complicated as a lot of people assume it to be if you know a little bit of binary math. We won't get into the binary math today, we'll save that for another time, but today I'd like to talk about why we need subnetting. Now, the reason we have subnetting is because engineers needed a way to take one large, complicated network and divide it into multiple smaller logical subnets or networks. And the reason they needed to do this is because with all the traffic that gets passed back and forth on a network, there's a lot of things that don't need to move between sites, that can stay in one department or division, that other people don't need or shouldn't have access to. And just as an example, I work for a school district, and we have 21 or 22 sites that are remote from each other, and they're all connected to one central location via a network. Now, if we didn't have subnets involved, this would become an enormous hassle to manage and to track down problems on the network, not to mention all the broadcast packets traveling back and forth, and just a lot of congestion on the network. By subnetting the network, we're able to divide up that traffic so that if, say, a packet doesn't need to leave this high school, it's destined for another computer on the same site, then it doesn't get broadcast around to the network. It just stays on the same site, so only that site will have access to that traffic. Now, there are ways to pass the traffic to other sites, so we can have computers talking to each other if we need to through routing and different devices on the network, but it does reduce the congestion that we would ordinarily see. It also simplifies addressing. With IP addressing, you're able to divide up into multiple locations, so we have a subnet for each location. So we can look at the IP address of a device and be able to tell what site it's at. If it has a malfunction or maybe a security concern, we can go look at it without having to do as much tracking down of the device. So thanks for listening. That's just the basic reasoning behind subnetting. See you next time.